Joining me now is Olivia Troy. She's a former senior advisor to then Vice President Mike Pence and chief political strategist for the Renew America movement. Olivia, thanks for joining us. Let's start with those deleted Secret Service texts. The agency says, nothing was done nefariously. It was part of a process to shift over communications and restore factory settings. I'm curious, do you have any insight into what to make of the situation? Does it seem abnormal to you?
Yeah, look, I think this whole thing, it seems abnormal. I've worked on the technical side of the House and the government, and I've worked with engineers who are responsible for migrations. And these migrations are very well planned out, especially when you're dealing with government records. I can't imagine that this wasn't thought about when you're dealing with possible presidential records as well in a very critical time period for our country. And so I don't know how you randomly erase the phones and these things disappear. It's either gross incompetence on behalf of the Secret Service and the leadership and the technical people there, or there's something more amiss. And I think getting to the facts is important.
It would be extremely coincidental, let's put it that way. Now, there's something else that was revealed during last Tuesday's hearing. It was revealed by Representative Liz Cheney. I'll play the audio for you right now.
And one more item. After our last hearing, President Trump tried to call a witness in our investigation, a witness you have not yet seen in these hearings. That person declined to answer or respond to President Trump's call and instead alerted their lawyer to the call. Their lawyer alerted us, and this committee has supplied that information to the Department of Justice. Let me say one more time, we will take any effort to influence witness testimony very seriously.
All right, a two-parter for you. So first, what does it say about Donald Trump's mindset that he would do something like that? And second, and this is something you might be able to speak to, what is it like if you're a young aide or someone who's caught up in the thick of this and you get a call from Donald Trump saying, don't talk? And that must be a level of intimidation you're not familiar with.
Phil, first and foremost, I think Donald Trump is scared. I think that there's been a lot of information here that the January 6th committee has displayed and investigated that is very damning to his actions and what he did to stop the peaceful transfer of power, which is really what is the most egregious thing about all of this. And I think that's what makes the committee's work so important, is really getting to the bottom of this and the facts. And secondly, it's scary. It was a culture of fear in the White House for those of us that worked there. We were pretty much people watched our every move. You had to watch what you were communicating, figure out how you were going to deliver briefings on topics that they were not necessarily going to receive well, I would say. So this is intimidation. But it wasn't surprising to me, which is actually even more upsetting. I think that to Americans, it should be, but I wasn't shocked that Donald Trump would call someone and try to intimidate the witness in the sense, because he kind of has the mob mentality. I mean, we know this about Donald Trump and this entire inner circle. And so I think, it's interesting. Why did he feel like he had to call this person? What does this person know? What can they corroborate about the scenario of what happened in those days in the lead up to January 6th? And I think they're looking around and they're saying, who else might talk after, Cassidy Hutchinson bravely came forward.
Well, sticking with that and the issue of Cassidy and witness intimidation, piece in Politico, written by my colleague Meredith McGraw, that was describing this informal support network, essentially, of young female former Trump aides. You're a part of this group. Take us through sort of how it either organically or inorganically came together and why it's been so necessary in these current times.
Look, I think it's been, for me especially, I was one of the first to come forward and talk about the dangers of the Trump administration and what it would mean to have Donald Trump leading our country for another 4 years. And I'm still very concerned about that going forward, as we know that he's potentially going to run. And I think he remains a very big danger to our democracy. And so it's a lonely space. And I think what happened, it was very organic. I think when we saw these other women, I saw Cassidy Hutchinson, I spoke with Alyssa Farah Griffin. We were very worried about the safety and the loneliness that comes with this. And I think there's a lot of assumptions made. You get attacked by people like, why did you choose to work there? Well, the fact of the matter is, they did their jobs and they did them loyally. And we know what it means to come forward and take on someone like Trump in this inner circle. They're dangerous. And you also get the wrath. You get the wrath from the MAGA groups. You get threats to your life. And so really, it was sort of letting them know you're not alone, and we'll help you get through this. We'll help you get the resources you need, because it's going to be a very hard and lonely time, especially for someone like Cassidy Hutchinson, who's very young. She's early on in her career. And we just want to make sure that there's a circle there to say, you can lean on us. We'll do our best to help get you through this.
All right. Olivia Troye, thank you so much for coming on and sharing that. I really appreciate it.